You're a dick.
Oh, and we're live.
Batting lead off. Joe Colton. Who are you talking to, Joe?
I hate you, Mike. I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to be more specific. Bye, YouTube. Honestly, was that a record? That was third word.
I hate you. Good evening, everybody.
Look, I can't. I hit the button and then there's a couple of seconds of delay. So whatever you do in that few seconds, I have no control over that. I mean, I told you I was hitting the button.
Right.
And your first thought is to call me a dick. That's your first thought. Okay, I'm hitting the button. You're a dick.
Third word. New record.
Okay. Anyway.
Good evening, everybody.
Welcome to What's on Your Mind. That was a bracing introduction from our own returning Joe Colton. I'm Mike Irizarry. How is everyone? We've got a full house tonight, plus a guest. Joining me here in the top row, former head of marketing for the G.I. Joe brand at Hasbro. It's the Hot Joe, Mark Weber.
Hey, and now I'm official cat wrangler. I can hear Colin and all 12 of his Joes angry about something, so I'm gonna go take care of that. And I will trust Joe to be on her best behavior till I get back. Hang on.
All right. And back after a couple of weeks on assignment.
Yes.
It's Joe Colton.
Hi, everybody.
Joe Colton, how did your assignment go?
Great. The first one was very good. The second one was good, and then I got taken out by a couple of girlfriends to like decompress. So we had a Disney night. They're trying to get me educated on Disney. So
whatever. You already got Phil Donnelly to buy all your souvenirs, so whatever.
That's true. But they're like, no, you don't just need like a dealer. You need to know things. And I'm like, not a princess, people. Not a princess. I don't know what you're doing here. Not a princess.
No, there's some entertaining stuff there. Don't just dismiss it out of hand. But
watch Hercules.
Hercules, yeah. I like Hercules.
One of the better female characters, though, in a kind of blah movie, but
yeah, 0 to hero. I understand what that means now.
And making his first pseudo appearance here on the video format of What's on Joe Mind. You can see his still life photo in the bottom right. Some technical difficulties are precluding him from being on camera. Noted author James Kavanaugh is with us tonight.
Hey-o. Thank you for having me. I can see if I can upload a GIF or something and make it animated.
We'll see if we can get James. When he says something, now his little thing will light up. His little sides will light up. Right?
Yeah, and like I was telling everybody before the show started, it's probably for the best that I don't have video anyway, as we all know oh too well.
Yeah, James was he was saying that his hair had gotten to record lengths, out to 3/16 of an inch.
Yeah, I was quite the hippie.
It's got kind of a witness protection vibe going a little bit, right? If we had a voice scrambler, it'd be awesome. Let me tell you about my new book.
I can talk with my hand over my mouth. That might help.
Just put the dress on. You'll be fine.
All right. Well, that's the other reason why I don't have the camera on right now. I've been actually wearing the whole dress the whole time. So.
And it's a little too revealing for YouTube.
It is a little.
Yeah, it is short, isn't it?
That is a high slit in that dress. Yeah. Let me tell you, especially for a dude.
I am so sorry, not sorry.
Ryan Savage was very happy I was wearing underwear that afternoon.
So
among others,
going away with you.
Because we are now off into our own world of jokes. At the very last G.I. Joe convention in Loveland, Colorado, James and Joe Colton.
No, it was in Loveland.
It was Chattanooga.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Last JoeCon in Chattanooga. I got the city wrong. I'm sorry. You go to 8 of them, they start to blend together. But there was a day where the heavyweights of the cosplay contest, Joe Colton and noted author James Kavanaugh, dressed as one another.
Amazing.
To throw everybody off.
I had a beard.
Yeah, Joe Colton had a beard and a bald head, and James Kavanaugh was strutting around in a very revealing dress
With boobs.
With boobs. They wondered why James brought his twin brother, and by the way, he's in a dress this time.
Right.
Nothing new there on that one, but Joe was quite convincing.
Yeah, James was carrying around a rack that could only be described as backache inducing. So,
I still hunch to this day.
And fanboys kept coming up for hugs.
Oh, they did.
He hugged them.
James is a tall man. He's 6'4", but he only stands about 6'1" now.
Joe's very Joe's very personal. Always has been.
I was like, I'm not that bubbly or perky. And he's like, yes, you are.
I was happy to see everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if bubbly or perky are the right words, but you definitely don't have a sense of personal space like most people do. So,
it just dawned on me. We don't typically see each other till the end of the night, and that's when we're a little drinking crow. So that's probably an accurate description, portrayal at the inappropriate time of the day.
Yes.
like if everybody out there in the audience can think for a minute of what it was like when you're a kid and your mom comes up and she licks her thumb to get something off your food. That's pretty much Joe Colton all the time. That's not necessarily what she's doing, but that's how much she values your personal bubble.
I value the bubble, but if there's something wrong with you, I'm going to fix it.
Exactly, which is to say, if something is wrong, if you perceive something to be wrong, look out.
You're welcome.
Look, I'm just saying that there was nothing on my face that day. Nothing. You keep your gross thumb to yourself, lady.
Right there. Hey, that's my shtick.
I'm gonna think everybody's gonna sign off now. But anyways, that's a hell of a beginning, isn't it? Bust open and Joe Colton's cursing at you to start your Friday night.
I love it. Glad to be back.
Fool's Day, everybody.
I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry.
Perhaps she was just celebrating the impending rebirth of our Lord. One or the other. She's cursing out a lot.
Mine's not until next month.
Fair enough. So we've got James on the program tonight because coming soon is the 5th chapter of James's saga, the RAHC guide, which is, James, if you would, sum up this project in a minute or less.
In a minute or less? Wow. It's the 5th and final action figure volume of the Rank and File guidebook series, finishing up the second half of club and convention exclusives from 2015 2018.
All right. So for folks who may be new to your project as a whole, what are we trying to do? What was the inspiration, and what are you trying to do with your RAHC guide?
The inspiration was Mark Balamo's books when he did the vintage Ultimate Guide in 2005. Just got the medium and hung out, and I'm like, I could do this. I got nothing going on with my life, believe it or not. Too many action figures, put too much money into it all. Figured I might as well try and do something productive with them. As we discussed earlier, they're not even on my shelves. They're in storage units and bins. So I just did it. I went to school for graphic design, and I was working in printing, so I wasn't fully utilizing my design skills. It's more of a production job, and I wanted something to build them. I didn't feel my we lose Mike. I didn't feel my program skills are up to snuff. So there we are. I had a teacher that said, "I'm down up here, you're down here. You got to climb the mountain." So I climbed the mountain, and one book led to another. Led to the Rank and File Guidebook series. For better or worse, I mean, certainly you could argue the topic. The second generation figures, 97 to 06, is probably considered a low point by a decent percentage of the fandom, and that's all right. You know, there's a lot of changes going on between vintage, which nobody can beat the vintage, and 4-inch, which was started by modern updates of vintage characters and vintage motifs. So, so sales were what they were. They were fine, and I sold out on the first one. That I decided to break it down to my second volume. If you can kind of think of the Rank and File series, it was going to be one big part 2 to the RHC guide, and I just started breaking it down into chapters and selling that at a more affordable price range, and they've gone like hotcakes. So in essence, 5 Rank and Files would be the page equivalent of one RHC guide, to give you the science.
Okay. So, James, going back now, this has been a project that has taken a number of years. And I know the story, but I want to hear you tell it. When did you get started doing RAHC, which then became Rank and File?
Well, the bad news is, Mike, when you dipped out for a minute, I just told it, but I can tell it again.
No, don't do that.
I'm giving you the business.
That's fine.
I'll probably dip out a few times myself. Speaking of which,
we've had a number of weeks here where the Wi-Fi has been remarkably good during the show. So we were due, frankly, for one of us to take a powder for a couple of minutes. That was unfun. Usually it is Joe Colton that gets thumped from the show, but this time it was myself. So,
Fine.
well, that also plays into the limitations of video on my end.
Yes.
If I was someplace else, I wouldn't have the best reception and blah, blah, blah. So I feel you.
In fairness to Joe, she's the only one of us with a spouse who's killing things online probably right now. So
Yeah.
Nice.
He is.
It's a bit of a stretch on that Wi-Fi.
Whatever keeps everybody's hubcap safe. Keeps them off the streets, so everybody's hubcaps are all right.
And hood ornaments.
Same. But so yeah, I remember James showed off his very first concepts for this. We were all in Atlanta at JoeCon in 2007. And so this is going back forever, and it's kind of neat to be at a point where you're about to finish this thing up, man.
Yeah, it's a long time coming.
I mean, will Chapter 5, do you hope to reach the heights of Chapter 4? Which, as you'll remember, had a forward written at a professional grade level.
That's, I really had to pull out the big guns on this one. And I got Mark Weber.
What?
Hey!
Yes. You did it.
Who knew?
Yeah. I had to really go for it.
I wonder who passed his Rolodex along.
Right? And let's be clear, that's noted forwarder. Mark Weber, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to change that in your name description up there,
Right?
Mark.
Right? Got to dust off that old journalism degree. Who knew?
Right?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, well, clearly, Mark obviously worked on G.I. Joe, but the bonus is that this volume contains a lot of crossover stuff. So there is some of those darn Transformers intermixed into this volume. So it was the ideal combo. to have him on. And I can't thank you enough for doing it. I appreciate
No, I
it.
appreciate it. I was pleased to be asked, and yeah, I mean, because I spent 5 years at Hasbro, pretty much evenly split. The first 2.5 on Transformers, and the next 2.5 on Joe. So, and a lot of that crossover stuff is stuff that I actually got to work on and approve and work with Brian and the club on. So it did fit from a product standpoint, and I'm always happy to talk about my time at Hasbro. I loved working on both brands, so it was very cool. I was happy to be asked.
Yeah, it's a nice little read. I think it'll kick the volume off nicely, and get Mark's insight on a few little snippets in there. Some choice gems.
Yeah, and here's a little preview. The first 3 words are "you're a." That's the first 3 words.
That's I might have to add that in the tagline of my of the business as a whole.
Yeah, not bad.
Underneath the RHC guidebooks, you're a blank.
That's it.
D.
Copyright Joe Colton 2021.
I'm sure she'd join in if she wasn't answering.
Yes, I was telling somebody I'm on a podcast right now. You should tune in.
Yeah. They can talk to you here, right over there in the comments section.
You can't.
That's right.
Oh, so this is my first time being on live here, and I don't even think I think I did live with Angry Mike, but I don't know. Do they take comments and the people call in and all that?
Yeah, we read out comments and questions.
Fun.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean it's a long time coming. I'm hoping to have it out by the end of April, and still be an accessory guide as promised for all of you that wonder what those goofy little numbers are at the bottom of every accessory listing. To the uninitiated, the first volume since it had everything, and it was rank and file 1 through 5, let's say. At the very back, there was an accessory index with all the accessories listed by type and then color and specific tooling, so they're all there. I always say that the person working on the project at the moment builds off the previous guy, and I certainly did do that. I looked at what was done before and strove to do what everything good that they did and improve things that needed improvement. I'm curious to see what the next guy, if they ever cover the 4-inch, but I try to tell myself it's going to be hard to top. I hope. You never know.
So no truth to the rumor that you're just waiting to compile for the G.I. Joe classified compendium.
No promises. I do have the 6-inch figures organized and ready to shoot if I shoot them. But geez, just when they thought I was out, they
Do it!
Do it, yeah.
Do it!
Well, we'll have to let them put out some actual figures.
This is the same speech that Joe gave me one JoeCon where I was on the fence about gender swapping with her. I wasn't quite sure. She said, do it, and here we are.
Was I drinking tequila at the time? Because I feel like I was drinking tequila at the time.
I think we were drinking I would have no clue what you were drinking because I don't remember what I was drinking.
Well, it was good stuff. Evidently.
That's a trade where Joe Colton was going to be the one in comfortable slack. So whatever, he was all for it.
I will say, I think when it comes to me dressing up as Joe Colton, you could probably give me a Shirley Temple and I'd be drunk enough to do it. But that's another story.
Wouldn't take much. That's not exactly twisting your arm, is it?
I like that Wes asked if he was shaving his legs.
That just shows how committed he is to things.
Yeah, he's like, is James shaving his legs? Like, he's got a beard. What's he doing? He wouldn't kiss me either. He's like, no, I'm not kissing you. As
Oh
James.
yeah, I saw that.
Well, the beard tickles.
Yeah, he's like, no.
I will say, towards the end of the afternoon, he was starting to look at me a little more
Like,
fondly
hey.
and differently than he knew. He missed his whoopee and was
That
trying to
had
make
to
do.
It had to be a really weird and confusing time for Wes.
We have a question from Mike Layton in our live crowd here. James, has the 2001 to 2007 book been restocked?
2000. If you mean the 97 to 2006, the first volume, Real American or RHC Guide, no, it is currently sold out. But I will say that I had a secret stash buried once upon a time in a land far, far away, and that should be arriving maybe in the next month or two.
Nice.
It's been uncovered under Stonehenge of all places, if you can imagine that.
This is another story that I had a front row seat for. I don't understand this one either, but okay.
So somebody was just holding your secret stash? That's cool.
I mean, jokes aside, I shipped a carton over. I got friends in low places, Mark.
Right.
All your friends are in low places.
Well, that's
Right.
I'm here.
Other than,
Yeah.
other than Mark, present company is not excluded.
Oh. I shipped a carton of I've always kind of hinted at it. I never knew how it would play out. I shipped a carton over to Rollout Roll Call once upon a time. And I had that. I went to 2 Rollout Roll Calls, and I would just keep it there because I planned on going to all of them. But I got to go to 2. And just one thing led to another, and it's just stayed over there.
Yeah.
But it's coming home.
They were there in the basement of all the cool stuff.
Yes.
Serving as insulation for the little rat apartment.
Probably. That's what
But with the loss of that book, they have to rebrand as most of the cool stuff.
There you go.
Right? It's not true anymore.
Well,
Percentage.
if you look at the logo, there's an asterisk next to it, and I think that's what the
No, makes sense.
Put up quotes. It's
yeah.
all,
Right? Seems legit.
So yes, but if he's looking, but he kind of gave an overlapped questions. If you're looking for the 25th and the Resolute, that would be 2007 to 2008. Well, it skipped a few years. That is available. Yes, Rank and File Volume 1. And for your listeners, while I'm yammering, sorry to cut you off. I'm moving. I'm migrating the site. So So if there ever is any funkiness, just PM me or shoot me an email. We'll figure it out. But once it's migrated, everything should be smooth sailing. There was a couple hiccups here or there with the old hosting.
New platform or just new website, or what are you doing?
I moved to Bluehost.
Okay.
A buddy of mine was nice enough to host it for me for free. So it's definitely not, anything wrong, such as just little things. You get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
He was more than accommodating and willing to help. So I'd have the occasional hiccup. But that's all right.
if somebody's looking to order these books, James, where do they go online to do so?
They can go to rhcguide.com, and it's all right there.
That's
thank you.
Like Real American Hero Collection.
Yes, sir.
Guide.com.
Yeah, I just reprinted volumes 2, 3, and 4. First time on the reprint of volume 4.
Ooh.
So yeah, 1.2 or 2.2, 3.2, 4.1. 1.1 is still kicking. Big Bad Toy Store is also another option if you want to order some G.I. Joes while you're ordering the rank and file guides. You can do that. Plenty of options.
So now, your forwards in these books are decidedly what's on Joe Mind heavy.
Yes,
I just wanted to use that as an observation.
that is the hierarchy. I start with the cast on there, and then I move to the others.
Excellent. Because it was one of those where, you asked if I knew anybody who would be interested in writing for 5, and I was like, well, I mean, I guess Mark Weber's a co-host because now we can let him write the forward.
Yeah.
See,
That was the last The fact that he was the head of marketing for the entire brand. Yeah.
No.
But I mean, in all truth and honesty, that's the only reason I'm on the show, was I was trying to get into the book.
Oh, all right.
I figure there seems to be a
Goal
pattern here.
achieved.
Well,
Right?
I could have circumvented all that trial and tribulation, Mark. You could have just saved yourself a lot of grief and come directly to me.
That's a good point. But you know, I'm all about grief, and you know what? I got the time. Let's be honest. So
That's grief is what we all have in common.
yeah, big
I
into
would agree
grief.
with that.
Is there going to be a chapter 6 so Joe Colton can get in on the fun?
Sure. If she's interested, I'd love to have her.
Did she try to write one and it came out in Greek, or what happened there?
It's all good to me, baby.
Yeah. I think so. It was
Try
all
next one.
spun around. But I don't know. I mean, Wes might tell us differently, but the next one's accessory focuses. I don't know if she's an armament type of gal or not. I don't know how she keeps them in line over there, but
Fear, I
They're
think.
organized.
all
Pretty
right.
much fear.
I
Okay.
think armament type of gal is exactly the term.
But see, she doesn't need accessories to hold it down. She is the weapon.
She accessorizes with the belt button.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. Wes, maybe I have Wes do it. He's the accessory to this.
Oh,
The Joe Colton action figure with
I-
Wes.
Now with Wes.
I can see Wes's forward to that. I don't know anything about GI Joe.
Yeah.
Thanks for buying the book.
And this guy
She
dressed
has
up
a
my
lot of-
wife.
She has a lot of bins of these red little men.
Right?
She
Oh, yeah.
told me that one of the con sets is over $1,000 and never to touch it. I think she's insane.
Well, no, he doesn't think you're insane. He knows that. He's got solid evidence backing that up at this point.
As long as they're not Santas, he's happy.
Right? I was just thinking. I just put that together. The ninjas and the Santas. There's like a thing going on here, right? Do you buy Wes a lot of red clothing?
No,
Here's a red sweater. I have a red sweater. Here's a red hoodie. I have
Oh,
a red hoodie.
I haven't. But that's a great idea.
Right? I bet he looks great
Yeah.
in red. Coming soon. Look what I did.
Sweet
Yes.
I think Wes is going to be pulling us aside at the next show to.
Yep. Guaranteed. Next show.
Right
show.
now.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Next show, he's going to be debuting Westpool. I just know it.
Wes.
Just know it.
He's like head to toe. He's like, "What did you guys do? Like, why am I dressed like this?"
That's assuming he pays attention to this program, which is a big assumption.
He does. He'll walk by and be like, "What was that you said about whatever? Nothing.
Oh,
Not getting any more, are you?"
so he pays more attention to the show than you do.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, anyways, for those of us who have been looking for Rank and File Volume 5, end of the month, James Kavanaugh.
End of April? Yeah. Sounds doable.
Follow follow RAHC Guide on Facebook. Check out the website at rahcguide.com. If you need to order any previous volumes, keep an eye open. James will make those available as they come in off the slow boat. And
Yes, sir.
and that's it for Rank and File, unless you got something else you want to throw on there at the end.
No, I think you had Carson on with partnering up with 3D Joe's, correct?
We did.
Yeah. So you guys are caught up on all that?
And that's crazy exciting, right? Like, we really could not be happier about that. That's big time.
I'm glad. I'm glad everybody's excited. I'm excited to get it out there in a digital format. It was a long conversation to get something moving forward post Yojo. You know, they don't want to take, as we all know, they don't want to keep up on it. So we're going to keep up on it when we can. For
It's a
better or
great
worse.
project.
The show must go on. Thank you. Keeps me off the streets.
It's good for the community.
With your hood rat friends doing hood rat things.
Pretty much. Yeah, you know. Everybody wants to do gangster stuff till it's time to do gangster stuff.
The people
Go ahead.
of hubcaps are safe.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
That brings us to the news. See, did you watch last week's episode, Joe, or did you skip it like you always do?
I did not watch last week's episode, but I know something happened and somebody won something.
Well, yeah, but you know,
His name is Bob.
we're not going to recap that for you. His name's not,
Oh, okay.
his name wasn't Bob at all. What are you talking about, Bob?
It's Bob. His name's Bob.
No, his name's Brad.
Brad.
That was Globo 12.
Oh, 12 sideways, yes.
Oh, sideways.
Just
Go
depends
watch
on how you like it. It depends on how you like your Lobo.
The show, and then we'll fill you in on the details that you miss after that. But you have to
Yes.
actually. But yeah, Racktime Rob was trying to do the news sound last week,
Ah.
so he was.
He was going all Mariah Carey. He was like going way up, right? Like into the upper register. Yeah. It was, do, 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 do.
Trying to find, proud new ways to perform the news sound, like when Yoko teamed up with the Beatles, that sort of thing. It was really
Yeah.
great.
No.
Yeah, it didn't work at all.
It
We
was
appreciate
real.
it. Anyways, first G.I. Joe World on Fire is available for pre-order.
Ooh.
Paul Aller and Chris Evanhoise's groundbreaking, critically acclaimed run on IDW's restarted G.I. Joe is finally available in its entirety, with the World on Fire trade paperback expected to be released on April 13. The
Nice.
book will include every issue of the book released to this point, including the recently released G.I. Joe Castle Fall. Cover price for the trade paperback is $29.99 or $19.99 for a digital copy on Comixology. And we've got a link to Amazon down in the description below, where you can click on that. Do it after the show.
Right.
After the show. And get your copy there. Should be out in just a couple of weeks. Can confirm that we'll have Paul on sometime in the near future to talk all about that again, too. We always have fun when Paul is here. Anybody?
Yeah,
else?
I'll tune in on that.
I mean, I think we're all caught up on that. It's an amazing series and a really nice fresh take on Joe. So, if you happen to have missed it, no better time than to grab it all in one and read it in one sitting. So, and if you can swipe through it if you're one of those Comixology weirdos, but there's nothing like having a book in your hand. Come on now.
Now that I agree with.
Just, I never got that whole
Noted author James
swipe
Cap
your,
all about having a book.
swipe your comics like creepy.
It's a handy out to have if you got something that's just too expensive to buy a paper copy of.
Okay, I'll give you that. And it's a way to be even more nerdy is to make your comics digital so you can swipe them. So we're
Virtual.
trying to unlock that achievement. That opportunity is there for you.
Oh, it's almost like we bring the fans of this show, we bring them virtual content.
There you go.
I mean, it's not too different. We're kind of a Comixology in that regard.
I think anything that allows a section of the toy fandom to look down on another portion of the fandom and call them nerds, that's an opportunity. You really don't want to miss that. Right? Hey, you're never going to guess what happens on the next page. Go ahead and swipe when you're ready.
I do these books so I can purposely get in with the G.I. Joe collectors and call them nerds.
There you go.
James actually didn't own a single G.I. Joe before he started these books.
Yeah.
Not a one. It's an absolute lie, by the way. Total.
I was gonna say April Fool's was yesterday.
I do that to give street cred when I do these books. Kind of like when the movie actor says, "Oh, I'm a real fan." I mean, they are. Don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty sure they moved on with their life from toys, become the famous actors that they are.
Well,
I've always been a fan. Ever since that check came in with all the zeros on it.
look,
So a fan.
But
Yeah,
you're the
guys,
gold standard, Mark.
Hey, I'll take that.
Be a fan of anything that wants to pay that much money.
Right.
Yeah. For every one legitimate Mark Webber, there's a 50 poser noted author James Kavanaugh floating around. Throwing a few Mike Eyes and Joe C's to boot. Just kidding.
When the Battle Beast movie comes through and I'm your star, you bet your ass I'm a big time Battle Beast.
just remember us, please.
I'm Mark Webber for Star Yours. Yeah.
Joe Colton stars in Infaceables.
Yeah.
Right? Just click the bird head and the dinosaur shoots the discs out of his mouth. It's amazing.
Oh God! And really, if I was the star of a Battle Beast movie, Aaron Dietrich would become my biggest fan.
Yeah.
He might collect you.
You get a discount.
Maybe in a big jar in his basement. So if I ever disappear,
Yeah.
that's the first place you look. Next news item. Flame Toys has released images of motorcycles for its G.I. Joe line. Some weeks ago, Flame Toys showed off images of unpainted figures for Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow in their Furai model line. This week on their Instagram account, they showed off images of motorcycles for each character. As with the figure reveal earlier, availability and price information is not available at this time. And if everybody chills for just a second, I will get that up here.
Yeah, I really want to see these motorcycles.
They might have wheels. Don't be
Dude.
don't be
Sure.
touchy.
Dude.
It's funny to me how the it seems the most lasting effect of the that early 2000s GI Joe is the Ninja Lightning motorcycle.
Or these ones, the Ninja Brick motorcycles. They won't tip over. They're
Again.
not tipping over, baby.
Just like Ninja Lightning, right?
Man.
Mark is also the positive one in the group.
That's right.
It takes a lot to impress him with motorcycle stuff.
I'd be a lot more positive if everything didn't suck.
He's been on the other side. You don't come back from that.
Right?
No, he's seeing things.
Literally.
I'm sure that's actually true. Jesus. It's so funny. And in my own little personal bubble, I had to laugh. I was reviewing my data for Valor versus Venom when that news broke. So
Sorry.
I know. And it hit me like a ton of bricks.
Right? Like a ton of motorcycles.
Oh,
So to relive, this is Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow from those lines. We still have yet to see painted samples of those figures.
You know what I like about this? Showing that Snake Eyes is all inclusive. He's showing the traditional female comic book cover pose. Right?
Oh, all right.
You get to
Check
see
out my
it
butt and a little of my chest.
in the it's totally
and the over the shoulder. You forgot the over the shoulder.
Yep, and over the come hither look back. Yep.
he's totally stacked with grenades.
From a mutilated ninja in a mask, but whatever.
He's got every weapon on him.
And
Okay.
Storm Shadow must work out, man.
Here is Snake Eyes' speed cycle.
Yeah. Except that it has no ground clearance. But other than that,
It goes very fast, very well paved roads.
he conquers Cobra Law, he conquers Red Ninjas, he conquers global terrorism, just not speed bumps. Speed bumps, huge problem for the Iraq Chicago.
What's on the back?
It's a cheese grater, I think.
I don't know if anyone what is that?
I don't know if it can be overstated how much the honcho is not a fan of these motorcycles.
So,
Here is Storm Shadow.
wait, before you get to Storm Shadow, there is a metal piece right where right behind the shield or the windshield. That's like a silver. It looks like a beer bottle opener. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Because he likes to party.
Hey,
Look, there's already a cheese grater, so why not?
Sorry.
Guys is ready for a night at the club.
have cocktails and a little brie. I'm all right with it.
And then we also see there, it's a little bit better, Storm Shadow's Arasakage cycle. Just a little bit more streamlined and looks a little better. Doesn't have any better clearance, mind you.
He
No,
sits
it's got-
lower.
Got that nice diagonal Arasakage logo like it's traditionally presented.
Yeah. I like
At
this.
least there's a good looking Cobra logo right on the front, right? Like we didn't hang any ropes or chains on top of it, just cause.
So bitter.
Is this the final version of these? Because you never know.
No. They're gonna make them boxier. They got Volvo cycles by the time they're done.
Is there a giant microphone on Storm Shadows right below the shield?
It kinda
Yeah,
looks
that's-
like that.
So like,
What is that?
Yeah, and a nice flat back for a charcuterie plate, in case it's entertaining. So.
all right. So again, if this is for you, great. We appreciate that we're able to bring you this news. If not, well, then you're in agreement with us here at What's on Joe Mind.
These are awesome. I don't know what you're talking about.
We're taking a pass on the Furai line, I think.
We don't know when they're available, but we do have pricing. They are overpriced.
How much are they?
It doesn't matter. They're overpriced.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Why don't you just walk right into that one, James?
I appreciate it. Just lob it up there.
Poor man.
Yeah, we're here.
Just lob it up over the rim. I'll put it in.
Team effort. It's that forward author connection we've got going.
That's what I'm digging right there.
They're
Real
Yes.
quick, I used to help my buddy photograph Ducatis and other race bikes at the track. Enthusiasts could go and sign up, and they had, beginner, intermediate, and expert, and blah blah blah. And you would think they would have done a little more research to get it a little more speed bike oriented. I'm going to tell you right now, as much as I photographed them or helped, I don't know anything about bikes. But it doesn't look like anything I ever saw at the track.
No, they look crazy thick, like wide, right? How are you going to put a figure on that and not have it look bow-legged? Or you're just going to give up and you're going to have Storm Shadow riding it side saddle.
His feet are just gonna be flying off like.
News item.
Well, Mark, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've noticed in the last few years the newer guys coming in seem to be a little more like urban street culture and kind of like graffiti oriented, or coming to do with the customizing, or everything's got like a larger edge to it. I wonder if there's that audience that they're starting to see is into motorcycles and everything.
Yeah, it could be. Well, Mark Maha is a good friend of mine, and the guy who works on the brand as a designer, and he is a legit street graffiti artist and does some amazing work. But he's only been on the brand. He's working on Transformers and Joe, but he's only been there for about a year, I think. So I don't know that we've seen his actual design influence yet. But maybe that's why they brought him on. Is that something they wanted to go into? But he's a real talent. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of his stuff, not just the stuff he inherited.
Nice.
So we'll look forward to that Mark Maha stuff.
Mark Maha, I'll have to look him up. He's probably got a Facebook page or something, right?
Probably. When I first joined Transformers, he'd been the lead model shop guy, the painter for all the prototypes for a while. And my very first meeting with a whole bunch of people would say, "Hey, Mark," and I go, "Yep," and they were not talking to me because I was a brand new guy. So I'm pretty much everywhere I go, I end up being Webb anyway. And I'm like, okay, I'll be Webb, and he can keep Mark since he's got seniority. But I remember that first meeting, I was so excited because people kept saying, "Hey, Mark," and I go, "Oh, cool." Oh, no, cool.
They weren't calling you Concho?
They were not. No, I usually end up Webb wherever I am, which is totally fine.
So, anyways, next news item. In case you missed it, Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest is next weekend, April 8th At 5 p.m. Eastern is a sneak preview available to Pulse Premium members, including, quote, behind-the-scenes content, reveals, entertainment, and more, end quote. FanFest will be live streamed, or FanFest proper will be live streamed on Hasbro Pulse's YouTube channel from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern on April 9. That'll be with host Jackie Jennings. Included on the day's plans are panels focused on G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, Transformers, and more. Info on the G.I. Joe panel from HasbroPulse.com read as following. Quote, panelists are Hallie and Lenny from the Hasbro G.I. Joe team. Yo Joe, Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins toys revealed. Join members of the Hasbro marketing and design teams as they debut exciting new products from the upcoming Snake Eyes feature film. Get an in-depth look at the stealthy Snake Eyes Ninja Strike roleplay toys and the latest additions to the highly detailed classified series collection. Plus, we've received intel that Snake Eyes himself, Henry Golding, will be making a guest appearance to unveil his signature action figure. So we just read that last week when they made all this stuff public, but gonna bring that back in again just so everybody remembers. Next Friday during the day is Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest, and of course, next Friday at 9 p.m.
Dun dun dun.
Come on back and chat with what's on Joe Mind. We will be all about Hasbro Pulse Fun Fest.
Analyzing all of it.
Unpredictable. We might like some stuff. We might not like some stuff. You don't know till you tune in.
We'll probably go both ways on that one. You're probably correct on both counts, Mark Weber.
Yeah, just saying. It's got to be exciting to tune into a show and not know if the hosts are going to like or hate something. Although I guess I'm skewing it this week.
You're being awfully negative about trying to be positive.
What's going on? You're supposed to be the happy one.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Rough day at the office.
Show me something good, and I'll like it.
No.
I like that volume 5 that's coming out, man. It's
Nice.
Great forward.
It's not quite as good as Chapter 4, but
no, still. Big shoes,
No.
Big shoes.
Yeah.
Big shoes, definitely big pants, but I don't know about big shoes. Joe Colton, your thoughts?
You do have big shoes.
I mean, I guess compared to you, a size 10.5 is a big shoe, but I mean, Webb's a pretty tall guy. He's probably got a bigger than 10.5 shoe.
I'm rocking the 11, man. Look out.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm a 10 woman. No
What
one
do they say
cares.
about big feet? They
Hey-o.
smell.
Big brain.
That's what
yeah.
they say. They
Big
smell.
feet means you got long socks.
That's it.
10 in women's is like a 6.5 in men.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Although Joe Colton is 8'4", checking in at an even 400 pounds.
Yes.
I would think that
Size 10 shoe.
That's a
being
healthy
that,
weight, 8'4". I don't want you to feel bad about that.
being that tall with smallish feet, doesn't that make heels prohibitive? Would feel like there's
Topple over.
Yeah, like a legit balancing act going on there.
Every time she steps, she sinks 8 inches,
Yeah.
regardless of what that floor may be. Matt Rubin asked a very important question. Did Hasbro Pulse release a schedule for the 9th yet? And the answer to that is no.
No.
Stop being so negative.
Yeah, stay tuned. We will.
Why are you asking logical questions here, Matt?
Man.
Out, man. We'll certainly share that when it becomes available to us. But yeah, your guess is as good as ours. Our guess was a couple of weeks ago around 2:00. If they do an hour for each panel, and if they go in the order that's listed on the site, 2:00. But that doesn't mean anything.
It is nice that they've moved their Pulse releases onto Fridays so they can line up with our show.
That is
I
good.
So
appreciate
nice of
that.
them.
Right? Yeah.
That's
Sign of respect.
part.
I'm glad you all could coordinate like that.
It's good
On the
marketing.
Anniversary.
It's the one and only time they do it.
Right. Joe Colton, just for the record, this would be your 5th anniversary show.
Yes.
This is it.
Hey, no.
This show. Wait, this episode?
This episode.
Oh wow!
I'm going to go back. I'm going to pull that up on the What's on Joe Mind page again.
Is there a jacket or like wing pins or something, or
There is
Do
not.
I get a patch?
No.
golden headphones, perhaps?
Golden.
Trophy.
If there were golden headphones, she wouldn't wear them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps a smoking jacket, perhaps.
I got the date wrong. It is April 24th. That is
Oh,
that was the date of episode 102. Joe Colton.
So now we have time to come up with something.
Yeah, so we got a couple of weeks to come up with each Joe
I'm
Colton.
screwed. They're gonna do something.
Oh, what that does
Practical
is,
joke.
the problem is that Joe Colton's anniversary is pretty much the same as the show's anniversary.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, the show itself, you want to go way back to the beginning, it like Arbor Day is always a good cycle for our birthday.
I can't
That's
wait
why
for Arbor Day.
the Virtual Joke On last year at the end of April. It's because that was the anniversary of the show.
Larry Hama Day.
So what you're telling me is I was meant to be.
It's a good line.
Something like that. I don't know.
That was the
Yeah,
end game.
She went Thanos on us. She was inevitable. She was inevitable.
I'm inevitable.
That sounds like something you got to talk to Mama and Papa Colton about before you talk to us. First episode of What's on Joe Mind is April 25th, 2011. So
Oh
your
wow!
anniversary is the 27th of 2016.
Mm.
So right there, that's like whatever, however long you've been with the show, you just add 5 years to it, and that's how long the show's been around.
All right.
So there's that. So everybody keep that in mind. We expect gifts.
That means come May, there have been a couple absences over the years, not lately, but there will have been more Joe Colton What's on Joe Minds than What's on Joe Minds without Joe Colton.
Oh wow!
Ish.
There were a lot of more sporadic episodes that for the first bit, just because there wasn't stuff to do episodes.
Yeah, that's true. But we've been doing it. We've been going weekly, right? So the pace is
Certainly we've evened it up a little bit.
Yeah.
With no mention of the retro line.
46 minutes with no mention of the retro line for FanFest. Do you think the line is dead? No.
That line's already dead.
Oh,
No. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think that FanFest has everything to do with revealing Snake Eye's movie product, and the retro line doesn't have anything to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
We already know that a fourth wave for.
Oh boy.
oh.
Here's what I get. I'm gonna bet.
To mention
maybe. Oh wait, back. You froze like crazy.
You're like,
Yeah. So.
Anyway.
No,
Well, I was just going to ask. I'm a little out of the loop. Have they said anything about the fangs not showing up and the delays with Wave 3 and whatnot?
No, I mean those fangs have gotten out to some places. I know Rob got mail. I think they've been spotted in some spots. Distribution on them doesn't seem to have been very good. But I think that has Mark nods knowingly. We all nod knowingly.
I think William found 4. Asked me if I wanted one. I was like, no.
Oh wow, good for him.
No, you need to be picking that crap up for you so you can sell it and make some cash.
There you go.
We'll sell it on the show. Just take bids over in the comments. Nice and easy.
Toss it in the pile for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway.
Right? Or trade it straight up for $21 Red Ninjas. Now we're talking.
I don't need to do that anymore.
Oh, you have all that you need?
No. We'll cover that when we get to what we got in.
Oh,
Save that. Okay, but do we have a next news item? I don't even know. Let me get back.
I was just going to say on that retro stuff. Maybe they might throw out a bone the night before for the Pulse subscriber stuff. But I'm pretty sure, like Mike said, that Friday show that's going to be laser focused on movie product. Absolutely.
Yeah, an hour. If you've got an hour to spend on GI Joe, that's not really a long time. Like if you stop and think about it, our little 2-bit slime show, we've talked about nothing, and we're at the 55-minute mark.
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't have a lot of time.
They're not going to hit an hour. I guarantee they don't hit an hour.
No, it'll be at best 40 minutes.
If they hit an hour, I'll wear a taco hat.
There we go.
You'd wear the taco hat anyway. Whatever.
That's probably true, but whatever.
Tune in next week to see the Honcho wearing a size 8 taco hat.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, we need to figure out a way to stretch this thing out for an hour.
Yeah.
But that's it for the news.
Do.
Which brings us to that was sad. I've been
It's just sad the news is over.
But that brings us to post sock.
Post sock.
Post sock. Mailbag. Post sock.
Oh.
It's getting awkward.
Yeah, I don't like it when you do mailbag in the breathy voice. That's terrible.
Clearly, you're not a fan of the classic episodes of the show, is all I'm saying.
Well, they got a lot better about a year ago. Hey!
Hey-oh.
We're about 2 years. It took you so long to figure out if you're going to be a host.
And, it's been a long couple of years. Let's be honest.
Fair enough. Amen to that, brother. But first letter. Joe Bros. When you guys opened up last episode of What's on Joe Mind with Welcome to Yankee Talk, I almost clicked unsubscribe. Come on, man. I'm a Houston Astros fan bagging trash cans over here in Texas. Don't be upset when we beat you again, the ALDS. Again, ha, 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 ha. Whatever, man. Houston sucks.
Come on.
It's terrible. Awful. How many guys they lose this offseason? They ain't getting anywhere close to the AL anything.
Is Verlander going to throw lefty this year? Come
Right?
on.
Have fun looking up at the Mariners.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I threw that one out there, James. You bet your butt I did.
Happening.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there
Now
we
we're
go.
talking.
See, your little Yankees motioning there.
0-1 with a bullet, baby.
Welcome to the Pinstripe Podcast, baby. Now back to G.I. Joe. I've recently been acquiring vintage Real American Hero vehicles and playsets. I feel we will never see another action figure toy line with the sheer breadth of figures, vehicles, bases, and just crazy big playsets like the USS Flag and Defiant. Here's my conundrum. I'm a modern era collector. I got back into Joe's 25th anniversary line. Most of the vintage vehicles I have translate well with the larger modern era figures. What are your thoughts on this? Is this a bastardization of the line? Have I crossed the line? I know vintage collectors look down from their perch as this being a form of blasphemy. What say you, gentlemen and gentlewomen? Here's a pic of my recently restored 1990 General with modern era figures, almost 100% complete with a 3D printed antenna. Keep up the great work on the show. And that is from Dave Stro Hernandez via email. We're going to change Dave Stro's nickname there. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So that's from Dave Stro.
That's from David Orlando Hernandez. Yeah.
Did he sent pictures, right?
He did send a picture, but I'm going to leave that up there for a minute just to give him a good burn.
Yeah.
And
So mean.
Just don't stamp any of those on a rank and file.
Oh, no.
No, David.
No, David Adam Warren Orlando Hernandez.
Oh, wow.
so, anyways, he's good. We like to tease the Dave Stro. So, anyways, here's the picture that he sent along.
Whoa,
Nice.
that
That's
looks
such a
nice.
Such a solid vehicle.
Modern
Wow.
the General. My feeling on this is, dude, it's your collection. You do what you want with it. Who cares what other people are calling a bastardization? Whatever, man. You want to load up your General with modern era figures? You go for it. You want to load up your General with My Little Ponies? You go for it. You want to load up your General with little cutouts of James Kavanaugh Jr.? You go for it. I wouldn't see pictures of that. But
Just not He-Man. Don't do that.
No, come on now.
No, that's a loser. He's a loser.
Well, they would catch a lot of backdraft with,
Things.
furry shorts.
That's true.
Stratos landing on the back locust landing pad was so cool.
But yeah, these are toys, and you should have fun with them however you want to have fun with them.
This looks great.
Yeah.
It does. But
I like it.
James Kavanaugh, you're our guest today. Why don't you explain what are your thoughts as to Dave's basic conundrum here?
Well, short answer is I like it. And I will say this, when you're researching rank and file G.I. Joe action figure guides on the internet, it takes you to a lot worse crossovers than what I'm seeing before in front of me. So that's for any time you want to have a What's on Joe Mind after hours show. Like way after hours. I don't know most people. But no, it's fine. I mean, do what you want, just like everybody said. But in all honesty, if that's the comparison, that's probably the closest comparison to the two O-ring and 4-inch is easily the most intermixable. Mm-hmm. If you're putting 12-inch on there, and it'd probably look a little odd, but again, whatever you want to do with your toys. And
the General's probably one of the few vehicles that could handle the 12-inch figures and not look ridiculous, right?
Well, no, that's true. Yeah. Riding that cannon?
Yeah.
Like a
boss. No, James.
No.
I remember back in one of my first cubicles at Hasbro, the Marvel team was so proud of their helicarrier that they were putting out at Comic-Con. And I got a spare one knocking around, kind of beat up. And we put Metroplex on top of it, riding it like a surfboard.
Nice.
Awesome, right? Like Gauntlet Throne Marvel team.
You got any pictures of that?
Somewhere. I'll see if I can
fun
find
to
it.
see. Sure.
Find it. It was on top of my like a giant bookshelf for a while, high enough that everyone could see it.
Nice.
Back in the pit that they called District 9. I eventually put up a poster there because I like the tagline to that film: "You are not welcome here."
They're doing a District 10, by the way.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Joe Colton, what's here?
I already said it looks fantastic. Like, it's your toys. You do what you want. I mix and match every once in a while as well, but like, this is amazing. Like, it's so clean. Everybody looks in place. Why not? Like, if this makes you happy and you're collecting and it gives you joy, like, who the hell cares what everybody else says? As long as you're not putting like Power Rangers or like whatever on it. I mean, like, that's your business if you do, but I enjoy this. So,
Mark Weber, you agree?
Well, and it's best of both worlds, really, because there are some modern figures that are improvements on the basic original figures, but they made so many vehicles back then. And a lot of those vehicles, the tooling is lost, or it just was never updated or released for the modern figures. So, you know, your best vehicles are almost all vintage vehicles. So if that's where you want to put your modern figures, absolutely go for it. You bet. I dare anybody to look at this picture and go, "That's lame." Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I even see a background, like you have like a cardboard or something, some background.
Yeah, on the wall there.
Yeah.
That's effects, yeah.
If that's his greatest shame, I envy him.
Right.
Exactly. No, his greatest shame is that he rooted for those cheating Astros, but whatever.
Oh, well.
He was the guy hitting the trash.
Harsh.
Right? Banging the trash cans.
Even I don't sink that low, believe it or not.
We have standards here. Not many.
As a Reds fan, I actually have I'll throw a little shade at the Astros just from back in the day. Weren't they heading off for the World Series before things got canceled in the mid-90s? I know I'm going back a little bit.
They were certainly in the conversation. That was Montreal's year, though.
Yeah.
That was
I thought it was a strong chance of Cleveland versus Cincinnati.
Cleveland was good, but the best teams in baseball at the time of the stoppage were Montreal in the National League and the Yankees in the American League.
Yeah. But even the most ardent Yankee fan can pretty much admit that Expos team would have rolled them.
Team was stacked and loaded, and they were all having their career year at the same time. That would have been a tall order, man.
And if you're jonesing for some Expos baseball, check out EternalBaseball.com. The Expos play every night.
Why should our fans be interested in Eternal Baseball, Mark Webber?
It's the greatest rosters compiled for all 30 major league teams, plus the Expos and the Birmingham Knights, which feature the greatest stars from the Negro Leagues, playing every night. And spoiler alert, the Expos get killed pretty much every night. So
yeah, the pitching is there for those poor guys.
Nah, it is what it is. But if you want to see El Presidente and Ken Hill and Jeff Facero and not Pedro, check out those Montreal Expos.
And the Honcho every Sunday night at 9.
Yeah, on the Eternal Baseball podcast. Join the dozen people who are, we actually walked it off this last Sunday. Yohan Moncada with a walk-off, and we went nuts. We're 1-5 on Sunday nights. So check it out. That win's going to become a streak on Sunday. Nationals at Cardinals, actually. So
the red hot Eternal Baseball podcast.
That's what I'm talking about. Number one, well, with a bullet. It's a dumping ground, but whatever.
Count me in as a subscriber.
See?
My baseball knowledge can only go up.
Growth. We're digging it.
Next letter.
Yes.
Love the show. I listen every day. Well, that's a lot of listen. Love hearing about your favorite Joes. Would you list your favorites from years 1985 through 1988? Thank you. That is from Minnesota Viper Berg via email. And I don't have a Yankees logo for him because he knows how to play civil. But thank you for going back and listening and staying caught up with us. We appreciate it, especially here in mid-format change. It's lofty air now that we've gotten to 500 subscribers. Make sure that you're continuing to like and share the videos. Get us posted around your individual social media. Leave comments on this video down below. That helps us get into the rotation with YouTube's algorithms. And of course, subscribe to the channel and get notifications so you know when our videos hit. Right now, that's just every Friday night at 9. But sometime soon, we will be firing up other original content, and you'll certainly want to be on board with that when it happens. But anyways, getting back to the question at hand here, favorite Joes from 1985 through 1988. We'll go around the room. I'll just say from 1985, just give me your favorite G.I. Joe, Mark Webber.
Alpine. Loved all that stuff that came with him, and there was no Joe like him. As a guy who collected from the beginning, I didn't like it when they would bring out the new guy when I already had the old guy who did his job.
Nice. Joe Colton, 1985.
85, I'd say the Eel is the first release of the
Joe.
Eel.
G.I. Joe.
Oh.
Cobra, G.I. Joe. What the question says.
But it's the brand.
That's what the question says.
Fine. I will go with 85 would be Lady J.
All right. Was that so hard?
Yes.
Noted author James Kavanaugh, 1985. Mike Semantics Irizarry. I think I got to go with for Joe's. Oh wow. Quick Kick.
Oh, all right.
From the cartoon.
You got to win, baby.
Yeah.
Going back to our old Coilcon days, man. You and Quick Kick share a lot of footwear fashion sense.
That we do. Got to set it free. Full of taffy, raisin, and nuts, melts in your mouth, turns the lead in your guts.
Sounds like a Dusty Rhodes promo.
Pretty much, yeah.
My guy, and the honcho's going to hate it, but my guy from 1985 is Footloose.
Okay.
With diaper?
With diaper.
Oh, with diaper.
You know, nobody talks about it. Flint had kind of a diaper thing going on, too. It's a big waist piece on Flint.
Diaper.
With Flint, it's a cod piece, baby.
He was
but Footloose was kind of oops, I crapped my pants.
Look, again, some of us could see past that. Some of us knew what they were going for.
All right, next year.
1986, the honcho, Mark Webber.
Well, here's where I go back on what I just said. 86 is dial tone. First Joe from Oregon. I'm in.
Oh, yeah.
So Breaker, forget it.
You done, Breaker.
You're out, Breaker. You know what? Breaker and Dial Tone can fight to be the communications officer, and one of them came with a gun, and one of them didn't.
That's true.
One of them gets put on a motorcycle a lot, though.
Yeah, but they make him shave before he can ride the motorcycle.
Joe Colton, 1986.
86 will be Low Light. First release.
Good one.
Lowlight
But then
was a
discontinued in 88, so.
badass. Lowlight was a badass. If he was from Oregon, I would take him over Dial Tone.
Oh,
Sure.
phrasing.
Author James Kavanaugh, 1986.
We'll go with sci-fi.
Really?
I was always a sucker for heavy weapons.
I liked sci-fi, but he hurt my heart a little bit because he reminded me they weren't selling Flash anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And then obviously 1986 Slipstream with this giant. No, of course Beachhead. Duh. Come on now. Go to our Instagram page. You see my 17 Beachhead figures. Still waiting on 18 Roma collectibles.
On our March to 86.
Anyway, 1987. Mark Webber, who you got?
I like Fast Draw. Not so much the cords and the handles, but just the backpack with the missiles and the cool flip-up visor. I thought he was awesome. So, yeah, I'm down for Fast Draw.
Fast Draw was definitely... If you're talking about new from 1985, Fast Draw is definitely new in 1987.
Yeah, and I didn't like the blue cord from the face. I don't know why I went with blue, but whatever. Fast Draw. He's my guy.
Yeah, weird choice there, but I ain't gonna hold it against him either. He was one of my favorites too.
Yeah,
Joe Cole.
I'm gonna go with Jinx. First version. Jinx.
She's a red ninja.
Yeah, she's a red ninja.
Good point.
Yeah.
Go to Author James Kavanaugh.
I would also go with Fast Draw as a kid. But the new, I loved him. Heavy weapons being there.
We win.
But in an odd change of growing up or growing down, I did not like Chuckles whatsoever as a kid, and he is my favorite as an adult.
I didn't like as a kid. I didn't like Chuckles either, other than the functional shoulder holster. Right?
Oh,
we hadn't gotten one of those yet. So I think Chuckles stayed in the bin, and I think I gave that to somebody else. Right? You get the gun and the holster. It's cool.
Gave that to anybody else.
Yeah, Hawaiian shirt ain't gonna miss it.
No.
Strap that sucker to clutch. It's go time.
And I was born just a hair too young for Magnum PI to really get where everything's coming from, where Chuckles is hitting. Useless James Kavanaugh story of the day. I was such a envious, jealous child and I knew this, that I would convince my sister to buy all the figures that I absolutely did not like, so that way that I would not take them from her and get in trouble. So she owned Chuckles. Spearhead.
That's a lot of foresight for a young child.
I know my shortcomings.
Diabolical child.
I would buy my older brother toys I wanted because I knew he'd outgrow them quicker.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Trickle down economics, baby.
I was the oldest, but I'll write that down for any reincarnation.
Yeah. I feel better about myself. I bought Rack Time Rob toys that he liked.
Oh,
anyway,
you're a good sibling.
How'd that work out for you?
Well, I mean, he still got them all, so it must be okay. Rob was that kid who never lost anything. Like he still got. He was 4 years old when Star Wars came out, 5 years old, whatever, and he still got all the guns. Like he's that kid.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
In our house, if you broke the thumb of your brother's toy or lost the gun, you had to pay him $1.50, half the purchase price.
Wow.
And I remember my brother was aging out of Joe, and I found in the couch the Cobra Officer AK-47 of his that I had paid him for. And he was so bent that he had to pay me back $1.50. Give me that money. Give me that money. That's half a new figure. Give me that money.
97 for me, Tunnel Rat.
Okay.
Yeah.
87 is a good year.
87 is a pretty good year. Yeah. 87 is one of those years that I don't have a ton of super favorites out of it, but nobody's really terrible either. except for Psych Out. He's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yes, he is.
1988, Mark Webber. Who you got?
Blizzard. And this is again flying in the face because Snow Job was a damn good figure. But man, Blizzard came with so much stuff. And I was always a sucker for a carded figure that had like 8 or 9 things because I think you get taken for granted a little bit now because they've gone a little accessory nuts, right? Or at least they did in the 2-pack days. But back then, man, when you had somebody like Scrap Iron or Blizzard who just had 8 or 9 things that he came with, you knew that was a good thing. So I was down with Blizzard the first time.
Blizzard, for a guy who got no representation in media, right? He didn't really show up in the comics. He was in that window where there were no cartoons. Clearly they had some great characters that were in that job. Snow Job and Iceberg were on the cartoon. Blizzard was the best Snow figure that they did in the G.I. Joe vintage line, full stop.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And it's funny because I don't think it's that radical a statement. I think a lot of people would agree with that because he was just that badass.
Even over Sub-Zero?
Yeah.
Had
Okay.
the coolest name too, right?
Yeah.
Like Iceberg, Snow Job, Frostbite, like yeah. But Blizzard, man, that's some serious.
Joe Cole, who you got in 1988?
I think it's a toss-up between Budo and Spearhead and Max. Just because Max, dog, come on.
Max wasn't a dog.
Max is
Oh.
a cat.
It was
Cat, sorry.
Bobcat.
Bobcat, yes.
Point Man and Bobcat.
Yes. But I think Budo because of the helmet. He was very
Real quick, Joe Cole,
cool.
let me cut you off real quick. Phil Donnelly has said he'll be controversial here and admit he doesn't care much for Blizzard. I now request Racktime Rob to remove him from.
Uh-oh.
What?
Right. The
Anyways,
funny thing is, Blizzard doesn't think much of Philip Donnelly either. So
no, he doesn't.
Hey-o.
maybe there's a story there.
Oh my
There's some
god.
backstory.
Yeah. But Joe Colton. So your favorite came with a dog that wasn't a dog.
Right, it was a Bobcat, yes. Sorry.
Or Budo.
Or Budo because of his armor. Like I really like the armor.
All right. So if it came down to, we got to pick one, which is what it is,
I'd probably go with Budo just because.
because he can pal around with Jinx, who's a ninja.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
And that
Nope.
helmet is amazing.
Kavanaugh, 1988. Bring it home.
Well, once again, I got to be a little simpatico with both of them. I was always partial to Budo for the accessories. I liked clunky figures, bulky on that package. And Budo was going to be my second choice for that same reason, the armor and the ninjas. So I will go with, wow, you're leaving me hanging. Shockwave.
Oh.
Shockwave is always a fun one. Oh, no, Charborough. Speaking of bulky, yeah, sci-fi and all that, Charborough, the flamethrower.
So you go with Charboil after all that. Charboil.
Yes, after all
Oh my
that.
god.
I was never down with Charbroil because as a redhead, I knew I didn't have a lot of burnt orange in my own closet. Right?
Oh.
Like I'm like, that's what you're gonna wear. You're wearing that out. Okay, cool.
That's
Yeah,
a
we're-
lot.
We're no redheads, red, burnt colored phobic. That was a huge no-no on in the
There's not a
in the
whole
group.
lot of red, orange, or yellow in my closet.
Right.
It's
Well,
not
he
a
also
good-
had that metallic, shiny chest armor.
Yeah, and the bug looking helmet and
Big eyes.
yeah, it wasn't a thing.
1988 for me is Shockwave.
Oh.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
good year. Again, filled a role that we hadn't seen filled yet, and would prove to be fairly important to the line as it went on. And great year. Just a good figure, solid figure.
Kind of looked like Beachhead if you squinted.
Looked a little bit like Beachhead. Yeah, a little bit. Like Beachhead with a hat.
It's like Beachhead's blue period.
Like
Yeah,
Beachhead's cousin who doesn't
Right?
quite know how to color inside the lines. That's why he's got all those yellow flecks on him.
It's the spin-off Beachhead show
Parallel universe Beachhead.
to protect and serve with
Earth.
a broken crotch.
Earth
Oh.
2 Beachhead.
Earth 2.
Anyways,
I think I did think he was a beachhead as a kid, for whatever reason,
A repainted beachhead.
or related. Yeah, they're
Well,
related because they wear the same baklava.
thank you, to the Minnesota Viper, for his question there. Of course, we're here every Friday at 9 p.m. Thank you for joining us, and that is the end of Post Sock. With just a little extra something there on the end.
Nice. Yeah, and to our Minnesota fan, we will look forward to beating your Twins in the playoffs. And I say we, meaning me and the New York Yankees.
You're the number 5 guy in the rotation, aren't you?
Yeah. Is it true that the Twins are called the T's in the playoffs? Because they don't get a win? Oh!
All the Diana Davis says, now do 89. No, write us a letter and we'll do 89.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. You can send it to any one of the places down there. Guaranteed to get in the post.
Just PM us.
Yeah. Not even. Send an email. whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. That is pretty much the best way to get to the Post Sock. You can leave us a message in those other places on Facebook and Twitter and what have you. I can't promise you that I'm going to find those in time. But if you get us an email I'm going to see guaranteed. So that's where it is. It doesn't matter. She says, okay, hold on. We're not going to get to it this week. We're going next week at the earliest. Maybe.
She's had a hard week. You be nice to her.
Look, I get that. We've all had a hard week.
Be good to her.
I'm trying to be fair to everybody.
We
have a lot of fans out there. We had
it's a sign of respect. We don't want to rush through Diana's Post Sock email.
It's true.
We give it the proper time, the proper respect.
Fine.
Exactly. You have to be able to think these things over. Not everybody can pull their answers together 90 seconds before they happen like you do, Joe Colton, because you don't do show prep.
Something about that 10-hour workday.
Right.
You're a mean one, Mr.
Grinch.
he is kind of a dick, isn't he?
He called me a
So
dick.
mean.
That's why it happened that way.
I was gonna take it back, but no.
Not now.
Not now.
Now it's out there.
No.
It's trending on Twitter right now.
Something's got to sell this program. Something. Might as well be me being an ass.
All right.
Anyways, that brings us to what we got in this week, where we humble brag about all the stuff we've accumulated in the last 7 days. Mark Weber, you were actually here 7 days ago. What you got since then?
I got nothing. Literally nothing. I've been showing off movies the last couple of weeks, but I got absolutely nothing in the mail this week. I did get the shipping confirmation for my Snake Supreme Cobra Commander from Hasbro Pulse. So
nice.
Coming soon to a mailbox near me. So, but as for actually got in, nothing. Moving on.
All right. Joe Colton, you've been gone for God knows how long. What you get in the last, what was the last time you were on the show? 6 weeks ago?
1988.
Okay. So the first week that I missed.
Oh boy. Take notes.
Settle in,
episodic television.
Make sure you got a bit.
So one of the fans from the show was telling me that they found a sidetrack, and I got him. And he looks like my dad. It's amazing.
You know your dad's going to have to cosplay as Sidetrack now. It's going to be great. So good.
My dad has a handlebar mustache.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's got the full Ambrose Burnside.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Mom has never seen him shaven. He'll shave this part, but this, never. She's never seen him clean shaven. He actually he was in the military, and they put him in the brig because he wouldn't shave it off. He was in for 15 days, and then they gave him another 15 days, and then another. So he was fully in 45 days because he wouldn't shave his mustache. How?
Wow.
He's vested. And
He'll
that
play.
handlebar.
But they gave up.
That handlebar looks better than both motorcycles we looked at tonight.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
All right, I got one of my friends, John Comer, got his hands on one of these, so I got him.
Nice.
That's Firefly for the people.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you guys see him?
Speaking of diapers,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I'm going to apologize to Footloose right now for saying he had a diaper.
I don't understand his outfit, but whatever.
You're so angry tonight. What happened?
Yeah. Well, there's a
So
list.
this is like a bomb disposal uniform that, like, not bomb making person.
Right. Like if you're a guy who makes explosives and you get dressed up in that suit first, you need to hire a new bomb maker, right?
Like it's a good figure, but it's the wrong job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to talk to whatever 20-year-old designed that.
I can't wait to see the new Breaker edged weapons specialist figure.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Great. So
Buttholes tonight. What's up with that?
Roadblock medic.
Look, man, if Roadblock's going to come charging out there, I feel good about him carrying me back the other way.
That's Stretcher, though,
No,
right?
that's true. Yeah.
Just saying.
Snake Eyes, Communications.
okay. So the Finest sent me lanyards.
Finest didn't send me no lanyards.
I got one for you and one for Mark.
Hey, look at me guilt us into lanyards, Mark.
I see how it is.
I didn't know you were going to be on the show when I ordered them.
That's because we talked about it last week.
Show prep.
Oh my God.
Right? Man. 3 directions.
Oh,
Okay. Hold on. I have to pick something heavy up to show you guys.
oh lordy.
I like the lead in right there.
Let Wes play his video games.
Okay. So I got a new castle
Oh,
Says
that
Miss.
lights up.
nice.
Didn't you lead off the pre-show by saying, "Look, I'm not a princess girl."
No, I like castles. I'm not a
Okay.
princess person. I just get the buildings.
I'm not a princess person, but look at my light-up castle.
It's pretty. The door's open. You can see the little princess lady in there.
Fun.
Again,
So do you outfit that with vintage figures or 25th
Right.
anniversary figures?
Well, I will outfit it with what I have next. Hold on. I gotta put this back. Oh my God. I'm gonna drop this.
the tease game is on point tonight.
Okay. So my friend Michael Draconis sends me first.
Program.
Yep, friend of the program sent me a pack of cat cards for my poker game, and then he's sending me
1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 of a kind. Look at this royal flush. That's a good hand.
that's 5,
Come on, keep
7,
one hand.
8, 9,
No way.
10, 11. That's 11. That's so excited.
Like a
Are
full,
those packed? Those are packed like 1 to a case, right? How many different stores do you have to hit to get 11?
it's like 6 to
Wow. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot in a case.
Bling bling.
It's great.
I think it was.
So-
Yeah.
The story behind this is, though, Wes didn't know I was getting these.
Yes, he did. In his heart, he knew.
Yeah, eventually.
So I kind of like pushed him out of the way when the mailman. And then I ripped open the package, and then these came out, and he's like, "Oh no, you're not. How many are you getting?" And I was like, "My goal is 50."
I was gonna say.
And then he said, no, absolutely not.
Then the papers came.
And then the other delivery came, and we had to have a sit down. And now my goal is 20.
She's back on the market, fellas.
Yes, but what's your stretch goal, Joe? Yeah.
Just 20. There is no stretch goal.
There you go.
I say this because there was a threat of burning other ones.
Oh,
Send your creepy fanboy letters to Joe at joecolton.com.
Right? Trouble
So
in
I was
paradise,
like-
folks.
You gotta sell something. And I was like, no. And then he said, then we're burning things. And I said, okay, 20.
If we're burning things, maybe start with the controller, right? Now we're talking.
shots fired.
Just
What
saying.
we need to do is figure out, get together 10 of them and send that along so she's got 21.
Oh, there you go.
One over.
See what happens.
All right.
21's winning hand. Every
We're
time.
testing.
Like that,
Nice.
Yes.
So wait,
Yeah, Mark.
Then
you've got like 108 Santas, but you only have 20 red ninjas?
no, of that size.
Well, I'm just saying. There's got to be room somewhere.
I think all the Santas need ninja little helpers from Christmas
Yes.
time.
So, a couple of people on the show that follow us have recommended I use them as ornaments and have Red Ninja ornaments. So
Well,
I'm going to do that next year.
that was the honcho.
Okay.
Yes. No. Yes. It
Okay.
was the honcho, but then people kept.
They're just scamming ideas off the honcho. They don't listen to them.
Mhm.
That's the honcho's idea.
It's the
There
honcho's
was-
idea.
Somebody had a terrible, even by my standards, custom made a version 1 Storm Shadow painted with like, somebody must have painted it with like a nail color because it's just redded out like crazy, hanging on the Hasbro Christmas tree. And that may or may not have left with me on that.
Oh.
Oh,
So I will raise you one red ninja. But it's great because I think it's a version 1 Storm Shadow that somebody took nail polish to. So he never
Wow.
got yellow. He got red.
Oh boy.
Is that all you got, Joe Colton?
I also got something for costumes. I got the
Oh, Scarlet Witch.
headpiece for Scarlet Witch.
All right.
Do we get a preview?
Yes, when I get the fabric in.
I just
Or do you want me to put it on my head now?
Put it
Okay.
on.
Just stuck to her brain.
Hair's back anyway. It's going to work perfect.
Yes, I'm sure it will work perfectly with this giant.
nice.
That's a good look. All right.
See, you can attach the headphones to that, and then you'll never.
Never listen to anybody.
I saw a cool.
Anything interesting this week?
Did you just ask me? I'm sorry.
I
broke up.
did. You get anything interesting?
To quote a host long since passed, I got nothing.
Got nothing. Are you on lockdown?
You know, well, I guess I sold stuff. I went to the Xenia Toy Show, set up there, and that was a lot of fun. It was good to see a lot of people. Good to get out. Because of the lack of toy shows out there, it was just booming. I mean, it was good for everybody. But no, I mean, I have, okay, I take it back. I did get a set of those little minis. Mike Hale ordered a case, is how I knew how many came in a case. So I got my set.
There you go.
I'm all caught up on classifieds and retro.
Ooh.
So we're good in the hood.
All right. I got a couple of packages that I haven't even had a chance to open yet because they came in today. But this is from Brian Shearer's. This is Gunship Thunder Punch, his Indiegogo comic trade paperback.
Ooh.
Nice.
This is Word Burglars Welcome to Cobra Island LP. So I haven't even had a chance to open them yet.
Oh, are we doing an unboxing?
No, because we're running way long as it is.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Next week. Maybe if we get, tell you what, we get 50 likes on this video, we'll do an unboxing.
Okay.
Joe Colton, you'll be on board because you are my unboxing unboxing correspondent.
Yes.
You will be here to give me instruction on how to correctly unbox.
Okay.
So I will hold off on that. If we have 50 likes by next week, unboxing video.
This is the same Joe Colton who attacked the mailman and opened her red ninjas like a pinata.
Yes.
Okay.
We need that kind of
Enthusiasm.
I think I saw that doorbell cam footage on online the other day. Just making rounds.
shout outs. James Kavanaugh, you're the noted author. You're the guest. Why don't you go ahead and give us your shout outs first?
Oh, well, shout out to you guys for starters for allowing me to come on and yammer on.
Golf clap.
But then also, I guess, shout outs to 3D Joes, Carson and Declassified and former YoJo staff for moving on to the next chapter. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we are looking forward to it.
I say that now, 6 months later,
Okay.
what I get myself into, but
Excellent. Mark Weber, shout outs.
Look at this. I'm going to shout it out by sharing the screen since we're not running late or anything. Look at this. I put this together myself. Look at this graphic.
Woo.
Right there. This
Nice.
is for our pal Bobby Valla. It's the last night to get in line for his series 1 of Action Force. So if you haven't gotten online yet, tonight's the deadline, and we love what Bobby's done since striking out on his own. And the Valaverse stuff is really cool. So if you haven't been on board, take a look, because this is the last night you can get online with Series 1. You can get them later. They'll cost you more.
Who else you got, Mark Weber?
That's it. I'm good. We're running late. Moving on.
You don't have to. I mean, if you got a shout out, we're not
No,
running.
I'm good. I'll save it for next week.
All right. Joe Colton.
You guys, as always, and noted author James Kavanaugh for joining us tonight.
thank you.
It's been a while since we chatted and heard your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too long.
I'd like to do a shout out to the doctors and nurses, and especially the men and women who are helping out with vaccinations now and tirelessly trying to get people vaccinated. So thank you for all that you guys have done and are doing and will continue to do. So, and then my other shout out is to my husband, who sometimes has to give me some sense.
He saved you $30.
Yeah.
It's a heart of gold on the wrist lock. Heart of gold.
At that point, you got to figure out what he wants to spend that $30 on.
Right. Yeah. He took me to the garden nursery, so I got myself a lemon tree today.
Oh,
So see,
There you
he's saving you $30, and so he can spend $30 on a lemon tree for you.
It's that old saying, when life gives you lemons, buy red ninjas.
That's it for me.
I am going to reiterate the shout out to the wrist lock Wes Whitlock, because Lord knows the boy deserves it. God Almighty, he deserves it.
we pray for him.
We want to give a shout out to our wonderful sponsors at Kokomo Toys. Let's sing the theme song together. Kokomo, Kokomo, Kokomo Toys. Kokomo, Kokomo,
Kokomo.
Kokomo Toys.
Kokomo Toys.
And to our special guest, James Kavanaugh Jr., noted author. Maybe next time we will actually see you moving and stuff on camera, as opposed to just a pulsating book jacket.
I'll work on that.
All right.
I'll get a webcam. It's time. This is one of the few instances where I'm hanging on to the old world.
A man who has given us so many fascinating visuals over the years. Really, your fans expect nothing less.
If it's any consolation to everybody, I've been working on getting Volume 5 wrapped up while we've been chatting. So
You have.
I have cranking away.
Oh, that sounds personal.
I was hoping that too.
Maybe it's a good thing we don't have a webcam.
Yeah.
You guys noticed Rack Time 23 hit last week, and that means that poor guy had to review Dead Game number 4.
Oh.
Ooh. So give some courtesy to Racktime Rob and download that off of our Podbean site. You can find the link for that down below as well.
You say I'm negative. Listen to Rob review Liefeld. Oof.
But
God.
At the same time, he's also got Real American Hero 278 and Castle Fall. So good reviews.
Oh, nice.
And it is so more than balances out. Castle Fall is amazing. If you're not reading Paul Aller's book, you're wrong. Okay, you're just wrong. It's fantastic. Hope everybody had a great April Fool's. It's a terrible holiday, but we all got through. I hope everybody has a good Easter planned. If you celebrate Easter, Joe Colton obviously celebrates Easter sometime next month when the rest of us are celebrating Mother's Day or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
When the rest of us have Arbor Day and what's on Joe Mine's birthday on the brain, she's celebrating Easter, and I don't understand.
Yeah.
But give a reminder, we are slowly and surely getting vaccinated as a nation, but at the same time, we have 12 states that have rising COVID-19 diagnoses coming down the pike, and it's because we're getting pretty lazy about masks. I live in one of those states. Joe Colton lives in one of those states. James Kavanaugh lived in one of those states. So we certainly, I don't know if Mark Webber might live in one of those states. I don't know for certain. Maybe it's
no matter, baby.
Whatever, you brag all you want. I don't go to the 19. So make sure that you are exercising your freedom of choice and choosing to keep your friends and neighbors safe by continuing to mask up, maintain social distance, wash your hands every now and again, and just think of other people. This is a terrible disease. We certainly don't want to see our friends or any more of our friends come down with this and get either seriously disabled or even pass away. One of the comic channels that I watch on YouTube here at Comic Tropes, Chris, the guy who hosts that, came down with a very serious case of it. If he had not checked himself into the hospital when he did, he probably wouldn't be here today. Mark has gone on great lengths in the last couple of weeks about Jay Sullivan, the great G.I. Joe artist. Be sure to hit up his his Facebook page. He's continuing to sell prints to help make up for the time that he is losing recovering from COVID-19. Again, we have to continue to take care of one another. I know that the mask mandates are coming off. That's dumb. Continue to wear your mask. And just don't get out there unless you have to. Or if you're lucky enough to have been vaccinated, Godspeed. But continue to wear your mask because you still could be spreading to other people. So anyways, that brings us down considerably. But hey, that's the way things go. We're in a pandemic after all. We got to do our public safety message here. I'm Mike Irizarry. For my co-hosts, Mark Webber, Joe Colton. For my special guest, noted author, James Kavanaugh.
Hey-o.
Please come back and see us again, James Kavanaugh.
Anytime you're willing to have me. I'm a self-promoting shill.
Anyways, be back with us next Friday at 9 for the next episode of the What's on Joe Mind TeamStream. It'll be Hasbro Pulse Fun Fest time. We'll look back and we'll see what's coming, and we will all rejoice together. Until then, good night. Have a pleasant rest of the week. Happy Easter.
Bye, guys.
Good night. Thanks for having me. Happy Easter to y'all.
No, everyone.